And he had to have that information beforehand and not just what they came upon. So I think he was ready and waiting. I don't know him from Joe Blow, but he seemed to be on it.
Yeah, I would like more information on that, to be able to find out what did this guy know? Like all the stuff that's been going on here in Letcher County, there've been rumors about this stuff for years and years and years. You would think that there are also rumors that were going around London for years and years and years. If there was a torture chamber, I mean, we've heard about the gingerbread house here. I'm sure they've heard about the torture chamber,
And
you
it seems
know?
like it's a two-story. It's got white siding on it. And from the affidavit, or from what I've read, his father was in one house, and then he resided in another house on the property. And then this white building that he known to stay in with the deer carcass. And on the second floor was the jail cell, torture jail. I mean, they put in that they drove. I forgot how the manner was, but it was indicated that they had to drive to another place on the property. So that had to be a compound. That had to be. I mean, what kind of
Mhm.
money are we talking about here? That, like, was he living off his daddy's? Who is this Scotty Shelton?
Yeah, and how much property does he have? How much property does his family have? Because,
Exactly.
it's not just him. You got to look at how much that's this stuff is family owned and operated, lived on. Details of the investigation. Let's read some of that. DEA London resident, and I'm going to kind of pick through it so we won't read all the boring stuff.
Yes.
Identified recent connections between Scotty and targets in other investigations regarding substance abuse, controlled substances. Investigators were further aware that Shelton had cooperated with law enforcement in the past and provided information regarding the distribution. So he was a rat. On August 12th, 25, DEA Special Agent Matt Fackler, David Wilson, and Task Force Officer James Grigsby arrived at the property of Scott Shelton. So that was three officers there. I don't know what all they were from though.
I think one was definitely probably his handler, which is
Oh,
somebody that handles the informants. That's what I
yeah.
call them. I don't know what their legit title is, but we see them in movies as handling them.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. The intent of the agents was to locate Shelton and make consensual contact with him regarding knowledge of the aforementioned drug trafficking investigations. Located approximately 100 yards behind the primary residential structure was a white sheet metal structure. Prior information had identified that Shelton is known to reside in this building. So his daddy probably resided in the house and he probably lived in that building. That's kind of how that's kind of how, like I've told before, it's like little clans. You might have one big piece of property and have a main house, and then they'll put a single wide trailer at the end for Cousin Susie, and they might put an outbuilding up on the hill for Uncle George, and then they'll put another double wide down on the other end of the county for Sister Charlotte.
But then
And
you had a deer carcass rotting there too.
there you go. All right. The vehicle was parked. Oh, The vehicle was parked in front of the white structure. Agents observed male on the dashboard. Agents made multiple attempts to contact Shelton at the primary residence and the white structure, but were unsuccessful. Upon approaching the white building, all agents observed a strong and pungent odor coming from within the structure. Based on agents' law enforcement experience, the odor was similar to a decaying corpse. Can you imagine the Halloween stories, the scary stories that this town has at night? And if you go up by old man Shelton's place, you better be careful. I mean, this is stuff that nightmares are made of.